Good morning, family. Welcome to the Afro Latina Show. I am your host, Alicia Anabel Santos, La Diosa Dominicana. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to episode 110. What's your story? What is your story? This morning, we know that I'm reading The Vein of Gold by Julia Cameron. The Vein of Gold, a journey to your creative heart. And so for me, I'm using this new book and this new journey to connect more to my creativity and to find more inspiration and really get to the heart of my story. So all of it is to assist the writer in me in tapping into, you know, other ways of connecting to my creativity and my spirit and my soul and my mind and my heart and all of that. And so I'm very excited about doing the journey and sharing what I can with you, because I do intend on keeping it private, because there are just some things that we should keep for ourselves and meditate on and process. And I'm generally very open with everything that I share, but I'm learning more and more that sometimes it's better to keep it for me. And so I will absolutely share some of the beautiful things that come up, but in terms of some of the more private thoughts, I am gonna sort of hold back. So, sorry, not sorry. Let's talk about your story. Let's talk about you, yo. What's your story? What is the story that you keep telling yourself? What is the story? What is the narrative that you refuse to let go of? What have you been told about yourself that you believe to be true? What's your story? This morning I wrote that in my journal, and I free wrote on it for a little bit. I wrote from a stream of consciousness, and I started the prompt, and I'll give it to you. But the prompt that I gave myself was, what's my story? I was born larger than life. That's how I started it. I went to the very beginning, and one of the things that it's interesting, because there's a story that we tell ourselves, and then there's a story that other people tell us about us. You know, those who knew us when, our parents, our guardians, whoever those first people were in our lives. There are so many versions to our story. When I started my journey as a writer back in 2001, one of the reasons why I began my journey as a writer is because I wanted my daughter to know my story, my version of my story coming from me and no one else. After September 11th, it became incredibly important for me to do this introspection and this work and really look at where I came from and all of the things that made me who I was then. And after September 11th, the urgency for me was, oh my God, I could die tomorrow and I haven't left anything behind. How will my daughter remember me? What is my story? What is the story she will remember about me? What are the moments she will remember about me? What lessons did I teach her? You know, what was the legacy that I would leave behind? And I began this journey to find my purpose and my passion. And it came out of urgency. It came out of a life or death situation, because September 11th was a very real moment. And We saw in this country, in the United States, how in the blink of an eye, thousands of people would lose their lives. And how will they be remembered? I think about the first responders, the fire department, the New York City police department. They were the heroes, right? So that would be their legacy. They were the heroes. We don't really know about them as human beings, like, how they lived, how they loved, who they were in their families. We just know that in New York City during that time, they were the heroes. But then there are the thousands of people who died in the towers, who died on the planes. And what are those stories? Who are these people? And so that day, September 11th, and the days that followed, I became obsessed with uncovering, discovering what my story is, what my story was, because I felt like at that point in my life, I had wasted way too much time not thinking about it, not moving toward it. And the moment that I decided that I was going to write my daughter a memoir, because that's what I decided. After September 11th, I said, shit, if I died tomorrow, I want to give her something. I want to leave her something. I'm going to write her the story of my life. At that point, I didn't know I was a writer. I just knew that I wanted to write her a story, that I wanted to write her a love letter, that I wanted to gift her the story of us so she would have it forever and could have something that she could look back to for guidance, for love, to remember who her mother was. And on that journey, when I began the beginning stages of writing that memoir, and I'm talking about days. So when we talk about The Alchemist, where, Paulo Coelho writes, when you want something badly enough, the universe conspires in helping it happen. The moment that I said I wanted to write, I realized that I had all of the tools in front of me. On my bookshelf, I had books writing from personal experience, how to write and publish a book, how to find an editor. I had at least 10 books that I had purchased over the years about writing, but they were just sitting on a bookshelf and I had never opened them. So I was collecting them. The universe was gifting them to me, but I wasn't ready to see and honor my story. So, what is your story? There is the old story. All the shit that we tell ourselves are the reasons why we can't have the things that we want. And then there is the truth. Then there's the truth, right? And so we're going to get at that with our meditation. We'll get at the heart of our truth. So let's get comfortable. Legs uncrossed, feet firmly planted on the ground. Palms down, palms up, however you need them, however you feel comfortable. And let's take some deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 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 Family, keep breathing. Ooh. Ooh. I feel chills up and down my spine. What is your story? What is your old story? The story that people joke about, you're the butt of everyone's joke. They always remind you of all the ways you fucked up and who you were 10, 15, 20 years ago, as if you are that same person today, as if they want you to stay that same person today. Who was that person? Who was he? Who was she? Oof, oof. See that old person. Mm. Now I want you to let that go. Let that image go. That was 15, 20, 30 years ago. Your body don't even look like that. You don't even sound like that. Oh my goodness. No, you're not even that person. What is the new narrative? What is the story today? Who are you today? See that person. See how you're moving. And it's okay to fuck up. It's okay to fall. It is okay to mess up. It is okay to get it wrong. It is okay to backtrack. It is okay to go back on our vows and our promises as long as we remember that today we get to begin again. Today, right now, right in this moment, us having this conversation, we get to begin again. And so, what's your story today? What's the story you're writing? Let's rewrite it. I am what? Who is that person? I am the story I'm writing, the new story I'm writing, the new story I'm telling, the new story I'm walking in is what? See that, name it, list things, characteristics, traits, how you dress, how you speak, who you're surrounded by, what it is that you have achieved, are achieving, are working on, are taking actions toward. What is the new story? Hold that vision. And when you're ready, come out of meditation. I hope the new narrative that you saw was beautiful. I don't even want to reflect on what that old narrative was because I'm not affirming that shit. I'm not even putting it in the universe. I will share that the images that I saw of me when I was 15, 18, 22, 30 were not cute. She was trying to find herself and living up to everybody else's expectations, which weren't necessarily the best. But the woman that I am today in her late 40s, a force to be reckoned with. A force to be reckoned with that I wake up every day recording my diary, waking up at 5 a.m., writing in my journal, and all of these practices that I do is all about walking in that new story. This is the new story we're writing today. And that's it, yo. That's it. You want to hear a little bit of my story, don't you? Of course you do, yo. So I really, my heart hurts thinking about the old Alicia. She was beautiful and young and her body was rocking and nobody could tell her shit about anything. But what people constantly told her was that she would never be shit. She ain't shit. She ain't about shit. She ain't never going to create shit. And then I wrote my novel, my memoir. And then I wrote a play. And then I wrote 14 scripts for a documentary. And right now I'm writing a second book that I'm about to kill it with, that I am building stamina towards, And so the new Alicia is honoring all of these new practices that are serving my work. The new Alicia, the new story is that I get shit done, that I'm not playing any games. And I'm affirming the truth about who I am, which is that I'm talented and I'm brilliant and I'm beautiful and I'm kind and I'm generous and I'm open and I'm compassionate and I'm spiritual and I'm blessed and I am love. And so with that, my dears, let's close out our day. Let's set an intention. My intention for today is to be the director of my life, but also I'm directing my senior citizens because they are about to deliver their first play, their first monologues, yo. And so I'm putting on my director hat and directing this thing called life. I'm wishing you all the most amazing day. If you like what you hear, follow me on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Subscribe, rate my show, leave your comments. If you want to talk to me about anything, email me info.alicianabel@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, Alicia La Santera, and Afro Latina Show on Twitter, Diosa Dominicana. And yo, peace.